What's happening, y'all? Welcome in. It is Monday. Wake Up Barstool. We got Dave Portnoy and Brandon Walker here. Also, Rory winning back-to-back Masters. Bring you all the action from Augusta. Brandon was there. The Red Sox are hot. The Yankees are not. I'm sure that makes Dave a happy boy. Plus, the NBA playoffs are here. We'll get into it. East, West, all the storylines to know. It's going to be a very fun 2 hours right here on FS1. What's up, y'all? Welcome in. Monday, Wake Up Barstool. We got Brandon Walker back from Augusta. We got Dave joining us from earlier. We got Meek Phil and Liam Bluttman there behind the glass. Boys, what's going on? Brandon, welcome back. Last week, you missed it. Michigan won a natty. I held it down for us. I was challenging Dave, talking about how Michigan sucks, all the stuff that you would have done. So don't worry. I held firm in your stead, Brandon.
Yeah, I doubt you did any of that. Hello, Dave.
Hey,
what's
Brandon.
up, Dave? Happy Monday. How are we feeling today?
Average?
Okay, I didn't know because last time, how's the Red Sox gambling going?
Listen, you can't come off a national championship like every show, or I guess we're on the eve of it. But no, the Masters is the big story. Clearly, Brandon was there. But the Michigan thing's, I will say I'm still happy about Michigan. It's not about Michigan, but they signed Dusty May to a long extension. They got Estrella, the guy from Tennessee. So Michigan has established themselves, I think, as the premier college basketball program for the next decade. But it's over. College basketball season's over. I had a week to enjoy it. Yeah. We had our parade on Saturday. The men's hockey team lost a heartbreaker in double overtime. But there's Masters Monday, so I can cede the floor to the gentleman from Mississippi since he was there.
I was there. Thursday and Friday. I went for a couple of days. It was warm. I got a nice glow about me. Don't you?
Yeah, you do. You actually, you
got me a nice glow. Those 2 days, the scores were just plummeting. Rory was out there. He went 12 under over the first couple of days. You think, okay, this is going to be historic. And then Saturday was another great day of movement, although Rory didn't do it. But yesterday, it all led into yesterday where we thought we're going to have an all-time classic Masters round, final round, and then nothing really happened. Rory gave the lead up for a little while and finally just eased back out to 12 under, but he went even par the last 2 days and nobody was good enough to challenge him. So it was an all-time setup for what we thought was going to be, oh my God, this is going to be primetime television. It's going to be the best. And it never really materialized, but the accomplishment isn't lessened. He still went back-to-back. He's still the 4th player in history of golf to go back-to-back, and he is sitting on top of the sport right now.
And one of the great, I'd say, and obviously he was already a legend and a Hall of Famer and all that other stuff. Do they have a golf Hall of Fame? I assume they do. So he was Rory, and everyone knew that, but there was a glaring hole in his record prior to last year, which it looked like he was going to choke away. To go from you can't win the Masters and you blow it and you've been, I don't know, 13, 14, 16, 17, one of those times, I forget what it was, to winning it last year. And I remember we sat, probably not on the show, because I don't know, did we have this show a year ago? I can't remember.
Not yet.
No.
We debated. I debated somewhere. Did Rory win it the prior year, or did he choke it away? Because if you recall, everybody was choking last year, including him. And if somebody made a move, he would have lost the tournament. This year, to come back and win it again. And he said all those things, which I don't know what I thought. He's like, there's no pressure. I've already won it, so I don't have that same, elephant or gorilla on my back. And then to come out and win it, what a change 2 years makes on how the history books. And I get he was already going to be one of the all-time greats, but now he's one of the first people out of your mouth, I think, with this back-to-back Masters, right?
Well, yeah, and he's probably the greatest European ever now. But last year he choked and also won it. Like last year he choked and gave up the lead in regulation, and then he birdied the playoff hole. So he let Justin Rose kind of catch him. Justin Rose had 10 birdies in the final round, and he got caught, but then he got it back together and had that epic birdie on 18 coming back. This year he came back to the pack. The pack just looked at him and were like, we got nothing for you, man. And he just kind of eased back out in front and won it. If Scheffler had,
it was still fairly close.
It was very close. It was very close. Scheffler finished one shot back.
I mean,
Scheffler's making a run. Rory's one of those guys. I've always hated Rory because I thought he's a smug jerk in some of his press conferences. And then what happens in our world, and it makes it a little more difficult, is I went to the Jake Paul Anthony Joshua fight and sat next to him, and he was like very nice and friendly. And so I had all these tweets just ready to rip him. I was fighting. I went with the head of Netflix, and I couldn't get a word in. The lady from Netflix was infatuated with Rory. I was sitting on the other side. I got no FaceTime. It's the only reason I went. But he was a very nice guy. So I was cautiously happy with him. If I had never sat down and met the guy, I've been rooting hard against them. I'll also say this, and I'm curious, Walker. So I've been to the Masters once. I am not a live golf guy. I sit and I watch it on Sunday and Saturday. I enjoy it. I'm not a nutty golf fan. I went to the Masters once. It was enough for me. Like, I would not be dying to go back to the Masters. What were your thoughts?
So I'm getting better at it. Last year, I went for the first time, and I was like, okay, this is cool, but it's better to watch on TV. This year, I found some better spots. I found some shade trees. I found some vantage points where you can sit here and watch the green there and watch the green there. There's a place where you can watch 2 par 3 greens at once. There's a place where you can sit and watch a tee box here and a green there. So we were able to find better pockets. I'm getting better as we go, and now I look forward to next year because I think I'm becoming an expert Masters watcher.
Like, my favorite tournament way back in the day to watch golf, we went to the Travelers in Hartford, and there's a guy, Jim Renner. Shout out Jim Renner, the pride of Plainsville, Massachusetts, the worst golfer on tour. He was dead last. And I'm talking, we followed this guy. We all had shirts, and we walked all 18 holes every day of the week with just Jim Renner. Now, that was fun. We had Renner's Army T-shirts. We may even be able to pull up the old broadcast that we had. I was interviewed on the news. They're like, why are you following this bum? And I told them, it's like, well, this guy's the people's golfer. We were walking with his family. His family was like, watch, he sucks. He's going to blow it soon. That's how bad Jim Renner was. But that was the best 4 days of golf I've ever had watching, where you're watching one guy follow him. You can't really do that at the Masters. The crowds are too big. The galleries are too big. So for me to just sit there and do this when you get a good shot with your hat like little Frankie Borelli, like a ship is leaving port, it's never been my bag.
No, I found a spot on number 3 that was right under a shade tree, and number 3 is a drivable par 4. They get right down to the base of the green, and I was sitting right in the driving area where the balls are falling out of the sky and either own you and then you get to watch the chip. And then I moved to 14, and on 14 we were sitting in the woods to the left of the fairway, and people kept hooking it in there. Angel Cabrera's drive hit my chair.
So this was your TV appearance then?
Yeah, that was my TV appearance. Angel Cabrera hit a drive. It bounced over there. I saw it. Oh my God, the ball's coming. Hits me in the chair. Hits my buddy in the foot. Goes back. And then there was a couple of more guys. Jason Day was, 3 feet in front of us when he hit his second shot on Thursday. So it's just a pretty awesome experience. But you're kind of right in one sense. Like, when you're going to something like that, and following bad players is just as fun as following good players. Now, I don't have a connection to any like Mississippi guys in the Masters or anything. I think there might have been one. I didn't follow anybody, but that is kind of a fun thing.
And you get in close. The Masters also, to me, and I'm just throwing layup comparisons to Walker here tonight, but it has a little bit of WWE to me in the sense the announcing is quite important to the enjoyment of the event.
Okay.
Like hearing the pageantry and the way they talk and how serious they are, and you hear the birds and the bees and all the telecasts and the music, that all factors in. Like, you go to WWE and I've said this for years, they should pipe in the announcing at WWE events because it's totally different. So again, to me, it is very much an on-TV event. It is a bucket list thing that I'm glad I did once. And I've told this story a million times. The first time I was there, we were doing a live show next door. We had it rented out. And it was at 4 p.m., I believe, our live show. And they don't let you bring in cell phones. So I didn't have my phone to tell what time it was. I wasn't wearing a watch. And I saw an older guy wearing a watch. So I went up to him, knowing I had to be back on set for our show. And I go, excuse me, what time is it? He goes, time stands still at the Masters. He didn't answer the question. He would not tell me what time it was. So, I mean, there is that aspect to it that is cool. And I love watching it. It's the perfect lazy nap weekend event. I placed 2 bets at 2 different times. I tried Koepka, even though I hate his guts. I thought he'd make a run. And then I tried Scottie at 10-1 on Sunday morning, and I got my money's worth out of that one.
Yeah, Scottie was close. That would have been the largest 36-hole comeback in majors history, not just Masters history. Like we said,
he was 12 shots
drama
back
there
on Friday night.
Yeah.
You guys think about it is crazy. People always get mad at my golf projections or rules when I say I wish I was the commissioner. But these guys, listen, I'm lucky to break 100, 110 if I play golf. I'm not very good. If I played in a pro event, I think I shaved 10 to 15 shots off my stroke, off my game, because shots that I may kill 10 people, but shots that are going to be so far out of bounds, hit the gallery and things like that. I don't know. Like that last shot, Rory, he ended up not using the other fairway, but pros shouldn't be allowed to use the other fairway. If you hit a ball into a patron, that should be a penalty shot. A lot of these things would make it a lot more chaotic down the stretch. Pete, can you guys hear Pete the Beagle yelling?
No, we cannot hear Pete the Beagle.
All right, good.
That does kind of, I had a question about that, Brandon. Were there birds?
Oh, yeah, there's birds.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. There's like, and they make noises, yes.
There's birds. Yeah.
Okay, I felt like I was being gaslit last week. Everybody's telling me there were no birds at Augusta.
No, there's birds. I saw multiple birds.
Also, Brandon, as someone who has a chronic mantiquing and collecting of memorabilia disease, Masters merch is A1 when it comes to the ability to get. Everybody that goes has about 18 different people asking him to get this, get that. What does your haul look like coming back from Augusta?
I spent $1,150.
Okay, that's actually kind of...
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
it's not bad for you. I feel like you held yourself back.
I spent $1,100. I went at the end of each day. I went for 2 days, and at the end of each day, now on Thursday at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, there was about a 45-minute wait to get through the merch tent. And it's like that all day, every day. There are people in there. The guy in front of me spent $12,000.
Yeah.
So there's a lot. Yeah. It's
oh man.
These guys and the gnomes that they have every year, that people are buying the gnomes and then immediately putting the gnomes on eBay for $700. They're $60 gnomes. I know yesterday the egg salad hat, people were having fun with the egg salad hat. If you want to wear an egg salad hat,
I have no problem with
that.
The
was
egg
custom
salad hat.
made.
Was it?
Yeah.
I thought there were multiple egg salad hats.
They were saying that was a custom made one.
I like the egg salad hat. I had no problem with the egg salad hat.
I thank Brandon for leaving his journalistic hat at the door when he walked in today.
But it looks like he's put it back on. There it is, guys. The pimento.
I got the pimento hat.
The pimento hat.
I wasn't going to. I had like 8 of them pimento and cheese sandwiches. I had to mark the occasion with my hat.
My wife.
I thought those pimento and cheese sandwiches widely overrated. Didn't like them at all.
So,
you and Ravel.
They're just pimento and cheese sandwiches, but I guess the novelty of being able to get a $1.50 sandwich at one of the nicest sporting events in the world is great. And the egg salad actually is really good, and the ice cream sandwich is great.
No, and pimento cheese is great. Like even if it's not good, it's still fine.
Still pimento cheese.
So we're talking about all the pageantry, the cheap concessions, and everything about the Masters. The early rage was Jason Kelce and the par 3 tournament. And you had Kelce involved in hitting the clubs and caddying, and basically ESPN invaded it. McAfee was there, Hart was there. What did you guys do? A lot of people very mad, and I don't know what you do if you're. I get it. I don't think they should be there, but if you're Jason Kelce and you work for ESPN, they're like, hey, we want you to come do this. He is being overexposed, and that's something any celebrity will run into.
I don't know how to properly verbalize my opinions about Jason Kelce because I do think I like him. I do think he is a likable guy. I don't think he's a problem. I don't think he's a bad guy. We never agreed as a sports watching population to have him everywhere. He is everywhere. He is on everything. He's on football coverage. He's on baseball coverage. He's on golf coverage. Like, it's just too much. And he's right. He's overexposed. But I guess if you're Jason Kelce and you're just kind of breaking into this thing after a long football career, are you going to say, no, stop, I'm not going to do this because I'm going to be overexposed? Of course not.
No, I'd go to the
I don't think any of us.
That'd be awesome, dude.
Yeah, I don't think any of us are like, hey, we want you to caddy and hit a shot in the par 3 tournament would say no to that. But at the same time, you are definitely being overexposed, and that's what ESPN will do to you. So it's a tough one. I agree with Brandon. He has a long leash of becoming hateable because he seems like a pretty likable guy. And even when you've seen him in candid videos that maybe doesn't know he's being recorded or things like that, or even go back in time, he always is very likable and down to earth and seems like a good dude. But at some level, if you show up everywhere in unexpected places and something like this, where they really, the hardcore Masters and golf fans don't want it. This is a sacred thing to bring in a couple clowns, which is what their role is. People hate it.
I do think there's a conversation to be had about CBS yesterday, because CBS has been doing the Masters for, 75 years now? Something crazy, a long, long time, and they're usually great at it. It's usually perfect. They get the tone exactly right with the piano and Jim Nantz, Hello Friends. They get it just right. Yesterday was garbage.
You got to find one. You got to be able to show where the ball is.
On 18, the last group, you missed both shots?
It was insane.
How do you miss both shots?
The announcers didn't know was the ball in the trap.
Nobody knew where the ball, even after.
Is that Rory's ball? Is it not? Is crazy.
Even after the balls had settled, nobody had told him. Nobody had spotted it. Nobody had said, hey, Rory's here. This guy's over here. Nobody. And they were doing it all. They were missing things all day. Hao Tong Lee had a 10 and a 6.
He iced Scottie out.
Back to back, he had a 6 and a 10, and we just never saw a shot. He's back in the woods. All we see is Scottie waiting on him doing this. And we never see Hao Tong Lee out in the parking lot. We never see Sam Burns at number 2 took to a 7 or an 8. He was co-leading at the time.
But Brandon, it's okay, because you guys see that beautiful shot of the Hollywood Golf Club 76 times.
Sure. The young lads in the front.
I do
to tear it up.
I have a question about Rory that I want to ask you times. I don't know if we have time to get to it in this segment, but
just do it.
Okay, the fact that he was able to play this course a multitude of times in the 3 weeks leading up to the Masters, I was curious what your guys' thoughts on that were. Obviously, only past champions are able to do it, but he was dropping his kid off at school, getting in a private jet, playing 18 at Augusta, getting back home in time for dinner. What do you make of that?
Listen, to the victor go the spoils, right?
Yeah.
And in life, winners get things that losers don't get. And Rory won the Masters. It allowed him an opportunity to go play it whenever he wants, right?
Yeah.
And that happens to help him get ready for this tournament. I don't have a problem with it at all.
And I love that he didn't really shy away from it. He's like, I feel like I had an unfair advantage. I've been playing this every day for the last 3 or 4
But it's not unfair. That's clearly the rules of the Masters.
And that's like the coolest part about the Masters, right? Is you could be the best golfer in the world, but if you don't win, you don't have that access. I don't care how much you've done elsewise. Like, it is ultimately gate-kept behind lifting that trophy. And everybody that gets to do that, like Brandon said, earn their way there.
I also think, and when we're talking about CBS, we are at a stage where we really got to start. It's as crazy as it is to say this. Maybe the biggest star at the Masters is Jim Nantz, and we're getting to a point in his career where you got to appreciate. I don't know how old he is, how much longer he's going to do it, but voices like him, I don't know how many we have left or are around, but they become such a fabric of the event that I can't imagine the Masters without Jim Nantz. And you really got to start appreciating. I was watching before the Masters, he was recapping, and I don't even remember it was on, but the Jack Nicklaus comeback. And they were talking about how in the truck, they were saying to put the shots on, and the announcing crew and everything goes along. When you lose these guys, whether it's a Keith Jackson or a Nance or a Vince Scully, the soundtracks of generations, how many more years do you think he has doing this? Because he is the event.
He's retiring in 2036.
Yeah, he wants to do 50 of them.
Yeah, we got 10 more years.
Damn.
All right, so we got a little more time.
Yeah.
But he is he it? Like, who else is it?
We got 10 years to come up with him, I guess. I mean, Tirico could do it. Van Pelt's is somebody who's kind of symbolic with it, I guess.
It could be Jason Kelce in 10 years.
Jason Kelce and Kevin Hart.
I'm asking who is the iconic, regardless of sport, right now? Like, who else is in that?
Isn't it Tirico?
I think Tirico's there.
I don't think Tirico's there for like major sport.
Joe Buck?
Not play-by-play, but Bill Raftery.
A little bit, but even that, I was thinking Nance, and who was the little guy you used to do the Final Four with?
Billy Packer.
Yeah, like those two were iconic.
Al Michaels is iconic, but he's at the end too.
Yeah, he's
like,
but it's important. Like, can you guys imagine this event without Nance?
No, but I it was always Pat Summerall for years and years in the 70s and 80s, and then it was Uncle Vern Lundquist, and now it's Nance. So it'll be somebody else soon.
It just takes a little time for them to to gain the gravitas.
T-Bob maybe
potentially. Yeah, definitely. Stock up. Look, stock up to Rory McIlroy. Incredible job. I loved watching him play this weekend, play free. You could tell the burden removed from his shoulders. Still plenty more to get to. Probably revisit the Masters. But coming up next, it's time to head to Major League Baseball. Red Sox are hot, Yankees are not.
What was that voice?
Congratulations, Rory McIlroy, the fourth man ever to have back-to-back Masters. As Brandon said, probably the greatest European golfer in history now. A man who really didn't have his best stuff all weekend, but because of the course knowledge that he's gained.
Well, he did the first couple of days.
That is. I mean, it's around. But even like if you look at stuff like his driving accuracy, I think it's the lowest ever for a Masters winner. But because of the course knowledge he's gained, he was able to battle. And it was a weird sort of inversion. So he has these incredible first two rounds, and he hangs on during the last two. Scheffler, the opposite, where he comes charging on Saturday and Sunday, 39 holes in a row without a bogey, a Masters record. But Liam, Scottie just not enough on the edge. Where were the missed opportunities for Scheffler over the weekend?
Scottie Scheffler just didn't take advantage of the par fives. He just yesterday on two, he misses 5 feet for birdie. Why?
I'm looking at Meek's face.
What's Meek doing?
It's just his face.
Meek's just enjoying.
I'm listening to ball talk.
Meek's just enjoying golf. On 8, Scottie Scheffler goes in and out for birdie. On 13, he's iced out by his buddy Hao Tong Lee, who's one of the all-time big losers, one of the all-time stock-down guys in the history of golf, Hao Tong Lee, who we never got to see. So you had to watch it on the Masters.
I mean, the guy fought through diarrhea on Friday.
He did. People are talking about that. How'd that happen?
He said he was up all night having diarrhea.
Why are we going in on a Hong Kong Lee?
Explain how he iced Scottie for those that maybe don't know or didn't see. Are you, Cameron?
Well, Brandon was raising hand.
Yeah. Well, I have a thing too about the Masters. Okay. Right now, I don't know if there's anything to do about it. But these guys hit it so far and they're so good at recovering. Like Rory was 90th in driving accuracy on Friday.
Yeah.
When he built a 12, he was minus 12. He had a 6-shot lead on the field, and he was next to last in driving accuracy because it doesn't matter. He hits it so far down there. If he's in the woods, to the left, if he's in the woods to the right, if he's in the 10th fairway, if he's in the 3rd fairway, it doesn't matter. He recovers every time. I don't know if the Masters, when they go back to the drawing board here, do they try to come up with a way to make driving accuracy matter, to really punish these guys? I don't know what you do.
Isn't this what I just said earlier in the show, basically?
Very similar, but it's a very good point. It's something we're talking about again because you said he shouldn't be able to use the 10th fairway. He should. Now they're never going to punt. They're never going to take a stroke penalty away from hitting in the crowd, but they got to do something to where there's a penalty for not being good.
But isn't Augusta all about the greens? I mean, just how difficult the putting is.
Augusta's all about a lot of things.
They softened the greens on Friday for no reason.
Yeah.
I don't have a dog in the fight. You can do whatever. I'm just giving a layman's perspective here.
Where do you guys put this event in terms of American sports must attend? Again, that circles back. But like, where do you have a Super Bowl, Final Four, Army, Navy? Where does this rank? Kentucky Derby, I'm wearing the hat, that's coming up. Where does this rank in terms of, if you're an American sports fan, a must attend for you?
I think it's top 5 pretty easily, and I think more than must attend because a lot of people aren't going to go. It's almost impossible to go to, but like desire to attend and want to attend is very, very, it's the highest with the Masters. I think it's number 1 as far as that goes.
It has a classic scarcity principle in play where the exclusivity really like how hard it is to finagle a ticket, right? I think that ups the ante quite a bit for a lot of people as well.
I Super Bowl, Masters. I've never been to the Derby. I want to go very, very badly.
Yeah.
We're missing something.
I'd love to go to.
obvious,
I'd
too.
love
Well,
to go
yeah,
to
I have them.
Daytona.
Army, Navy,
Yeah.
I would put ahead.
Army,
Here's what I
Navy's
put ahead.
supposed
You
to
put
be
Army
incredible.
Navy ahead of it?
I've heard
I think
Army Navy's
Navy
unreal.
Is maybe the most outside. So Super Bowl is strange because if your team's in it, great. I don't know about going if your team in a World Series, an NBA, though in hockey, those are your team. But if your team isn't in it, so these are a Kentucky Derby, an Army Navy, a Masters. I have Army Navy 1. I think Army Navy is the most patriotic, spine-tingling, hair on your arms. Now, once the game starts, you'll fall asleep. But the lead up to it, with all the troops and the flyovers and everything that goes with it, Army Navy is my clear number one must-attend sporting event. You have the Indy 500, which I've been to it, but never been to the race. I've been to the weekend, so I can't rank that one. The Derby is clearly up there. What else are we forgetting here?
Final Four, a lot of people would want to go to that every year.
Wimbledon.
But that's a dud
US.
compared to.
Wimbledon's not American team.
Oh, were we
He's
doing only
listening American, and you said
my bad.
Wimbledon?
My bad. I thought we were doing all sporting events.
Stock down. U.S. Open, I guess, for tennis. What?
I know someone.
Stanton,
Yeah, I think we've got the top 5. I don't think because World Series is
Wait,
Rose
hold on. But we were supposed to bring this. Yeah, Rose Bowl's great, but we were supposed to bring this back to the golf, right? Speaking of Rose, we haven't even talked about Justin Rose.
Sure.
How much heartbreak can one man take at this course? He already entered, having led the most Masters rounds in history without a win.
Yeah.
He's lost twice in a playoff. He now finishes third.
I didn't realize they put the second place finisher on the trophy.
Oh, do they
Did
really?
you see that?
Yeah.
Yeah, in smaller font.
He's on the trophy 4 times.
That's just cruel. That's just cruel at that point, dude.
He's on the trophy 4 times.
And he's 45 years old now.
Yeah.
Like, well, Justin Rose, if anybody deserves to be in that clubhouse and have access to the course, I really hope that Rose, one day we get that. Like, that's going to be the new storyline.
You just like the guy? Why do you?
No, I think it's easy to empathize with someone. No, I'm not. I don't know anything about the guy's personalities. Like, I'm not a big golf guy. It's very easy for me to empathize with someone who is constantly knocking the door, been so close, played so great, but can't get across that finish line. And I think that would be like really enthralling if he's in another battle next year and somehow finds way back through. Like, that's what I was watching yesterday.
Well, Greg Norman was the same way. Greg Norman was always in the lead at this thing and never won it. Phil Mickelson was always close to the lead in the U.S. Open, never won it, probably never going to win it. And now Justin Rose. Those two guys feel like on a week-to-week basis they were better than Justin Rose.
Would you just say never won it?
Phil Mickelson never won the U.S. Open, and Greg Norman never won the Masters.
Yeah, Greg Norman finished top 3 of the Masters 6 times. Rose is now up to 4 times.
He did win $1.6 million yesterday.
No, I know, but
so I think the heartache is.
But here's the thing, though. That's what I'm talking about, though. But they already have all the money. Yeah. He has all the accolades. He can enter any golf clubhouse in the world that he wants, except for that one. He is denied access, and that's what it's the gravitas and the access that comes with the green jacket that to these guys means so much more. I would imagine, at least, than the raw winnings.
I just was
for him, sure.
I was just disappointed in the field yesterday. Like, Rory was gettable. Rory was very gettable. Rory won the tournament, and that's great and everything. But we started the day with so many guys sitting there at 9 under, 10 under, 11 under, and only Scottie showed some pulse. Only Scottie showed balls.
Justin
well,
Rose
you got to wonder whether the live guys. The live guys are weak. The live guys playing the tour, they didn't show up. They're playing this cockamamie rules, cockamamie golf, and then you come over, even though we love it here on Fox Sports, but then they come over to the Masters, and it's like DeChambeau self-combust. He's a disaster. I mean, Dustin Johnson, we haven't heard a word from him since he left the tour. So these guys, they're big names. I think there's something to that. If you're not playing the same type format, same type competitive golf, maybe you're not as geared up for these type of events.
Yeah, I think LIV does its guys a major disservice in preparing for Augusta. In the weeks leading up, I think they're doing a terrible job of getting their guys prepped. Their two mates, people are talking about coming in this tournament. Who is the best informed golfer right now? We really don't know. It might be Jacob Bridgman. Well, it's probably John Rahm and Bryson DeChambeau. DeChambeau triple bogeys on 18 to miss the cut. John Rahm never had a chance at winning this thing. He was second in odds coming into the week. Like you said, Dustin Johnson was terrible. Cam Smith hasn't made a cut at a major in who knows how long. Joaquin Niemann doesn't even get a play in the Masters because of official Golf World ranking. And Sergio Garcia had one of the all-time great meltdowns.
Well, and
these are guys who took gigantic paychecks to play less competitive golf, albeit very exciting and made for television on Fox. But they all took gigantic paychecks to basically cash in their competitive spirit. I mean, that's what they did.
Dave, did you see the Sergio highlight from the weekend? I want to get your thoughts on this. Watch this. This is the frustration of Sergio Garcia coming to bear. Second hole yesterday, bad drive, slams the driver on the ground a couple times, and, because it is baseball season, takes it to the water cooler and snaps the head of his driver. This seemed to get the
that was
golf
slow
crowd.
mo though into the water cooler there. Yes.
Yeah, and then it breaks.
I have no problem.
This had the golf guys very up in arms yesterday.
Yeah, golf guys. Those are the Kelce guys, I guess. Listen, I that is so fast to me, that reaction, that I'm not going to hold them responsible. Like, that is an instant. I shot a horrible shot. I'm mad. I can't. Showing emotion, I'm not going to ever get on a guy when it happens that quickly. I don't like when they sometimes, quiet in the crowd, they get mad. But that, you're mad at yourself. You slam the driver. Absolutely zero issue with it.
Yeah, and then he held John Rahm's golf bag and walked up the fairway.
Oh, yeah, because when he thought the cat, he had a little passive aggressive.
Does anybody have a problem with that?
No, but it was his post-round interview was brutal to watch.
But he gets.
What'd he say?
He gets to be in that clubhouse.
Can you watch it at break?
I'll watch it at break. Yeah, thank you.
Brandon, do you have Sergio take before we go?
If that happens anywhere but the Masters, nobody's up in arms about it. Everybody's protective about tee boxes of the Masters, and that's good. That's what sets it apart. But at the end of the day, it's a golfer in a very, very, very quick fit of rage, and that happens in that game.
He's just a grumpy guy.
It's Sunday at the Masters. The pressure's turned up to the nth degree, and we wonder why these guys are snapping.
Give me back my son.
That guy's never going to the Masters again.
People want both ways. You want emotion. I want emotion. I want guys to do that if they're unhappy with the shot. That's a reaction. Like Scottie, I forget towards what hole it was. I think the par 5, he hooked it. He just drops the club on the backswing. That's not a slam, but that's an instant, I hit a terrible shot reaction. You can't control that. That's sports. You can't take that part out of the game.
All right, now let's dive into MLB next when we get back. Put a bow on the Masters for now. We still got stock up, stock down. Coming up a bit later in the program as well. NBA playoff preview. Don't go there more. Wake Up Barstool here on FS1. Look for that skyline. Major League Baseball, it's still early on. A logjam in the sport, though. Everybody's good. Nobody's good. But Dave, you're currently experiencing what it's like to be a 162er locked in.
Yeah, so the Red Sox started so slow. I was calling for everybody's head, sell the team, fire everybody. I was doing research. I was deep down. Now the Red Sox have won 4 or 5. The Yankees have lost 5 straight. And, I mean, you have a Jazz Chisholm quote in the middle of this losing streak, which is one of the most fascinating, insane quotes to the point you can't believe. So Jazz Chisholm play this. I'll set the stage. We'll play the clip. It's bases loaded, tie game. I believe it's bottom of the 9th.
Bottom of the 10th, I believe.
Bottom of the 10th. Bases loaded. What? All right, one out. So here's the play right here. Let's roll the clip. 4-4, bottom 10, ground ball. You need a double play. Now, game ends. Mm-hmm. Okay, fine. Now, once he bobbles the ball, the game is clearly over. Your only attempt is a double play. He's going to tag him if he feels it clearly, throw to first, maybe get out of the inning, field it cleanly. Doesn't look like he's going to do it too softly, maybe go second to first, fine. But in the post-game interview, Jazz Chisholm, while putting in an earring the entire time, somehow, inexplicably, says he does not understand the rules of baseball in a way that I think Walker's kid understands, which is basically if you throw to first without tagging the guy, clearly you take the force play off. And if you throw a second, you're going to have to tag him, runs going to score. Here is Jazz Chisholm somehow openly saying he does not understand the fundamental rules of baseball.
I don't know what the rule is if I went to first base first and threw it back to second if it's still an out. Is it still a double play? I don't know. Does it count as not an RBI?
No, they'll score.
They'll still score?
They'll get there before the tag occurs at second.
Well, where it was what I was trying to do in my mind probably wouldn't have worked anyway.
7-year MLB veteran, by the way.
The amount of baseball you got to play to get to where he is. So you learn the rules of force outs in coach pitch, maybe T-ball. You learn it very, 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 very quickly. The amount of baseball he has played, and he doesn't know how to put an earring in.
There has to be an explanation, doesn't there? Nobody can be this stupid.
Are we eliminating him trolling?
He may have been. That's what I'm saying.
I think he
that's
was
what I'm saying,
legitimately-
Liam. I don't like Jazz Chisholm. I had my run-in with him when they're using those illegal barrel bats, and he took a shot at me. But he can't be this stupid. Nobody can. So I am actually, as much as I don't like the Yankees, Chisholm, I am going to cast my vote on trolling. I don't think anybody can be this stupid. I don't.
He could have said that if he got the out of first base, like, oh, I lowered my pitcher's ERA. I saved him an out that could help him out later in the season or something. That's a better explanation than that.
A Yankees player trolling after botching a ground ball that loses a game is not a good career decision in New York City.
He's also in a contract year, too. Like, he said he was going to be
I don't think he
50-50.
cares about any of that, clearly. But I just don't. That's like not knowing how many outs in an inning or how many strikes strike. I just refuse to believe. Never my son. I mean, you say 7 years in the major leagues. There's no high school player in America who doesn't know that rule. It can't be true. So I'm going to give Jazz Chisholm, against my better judgment here, the benefit of the doubt and say he was trolling. It's just, or he said it wrong. You have to know how to turn a double play. You have to.
I get lost in your grudges sometimes. What shot did he take at you?
When the Yankees were cheating with those illegal new bats, the what were they called?
Torpedo bats.
The torpedo bats.
Yeah.
I called them. They were hitting 1 million home runs, and he said something to the effect, "I don't need some 5'8" midget who's working in a closet telling me about baseball." And then I had to unveil my home run montage on him.
And
I was using a Green Eastern. I was using the old Green Eastern regulation barrel. None of that crap that the Yankees were using.
That was the first bat I had too.
Meek, where do you fall? Was he trolling?
I just think the cameras were in his face. He didn't know what to say. I honestly, maybe it's a mix.
He was worried about that earring.
He was worried about the earring. Like, yeah, you couldn't put that in. That's like the worst part of it. It's like,
This is the whole time he's messing with an earring.
it's definitely one of the weirdest post-game interviews I think I've ever experienced watching baseball.
But this isn't just, like they've lost 5 in a row now?
That was their fourth loss at the time of that video.
They've had multiple, like maybe not as bad as that interview, but they've had multiple, WTF moments so far this year, right?
It's kind of just been normal losses outside of that one.
Okay.
And the Mets think everybody, it's the 162 lifestyle. I saw Frank the other day. I didn't even know what he was talking. It was a meltdown. He's calling Lindor a communist. I'm like, why is Frank calling Lindor a communist? Then I looked it up. His wife, who lives in a $25 million mansion, is on Mandimi's board. How does that work? Someone explain that one to me, not to go deep, but how do you live in a $25 million mansion and then work on the housing committee with Mandimi? Frank may have a point.
I actually saw Frank at the game on Saturday, and there was no hi, hello, how are you doing? He just went immediately and told me Francisco Lindor is a communist and he hates him.
No hellos?
No hellos, just immediately straight to the point. I'm like, okay.
That is a hello to Frank.
That might as well be a hello.
And that was the day where that reporter tweeted that there's a man having a full existential
Oh, yeah.
I saw that.
in the press box.
Could have been anybody.
Could have been anyone.
So mixed
Tour is a tough thing. I don't want to go back, but this stat, I don't know if you heard me. Do you hear that the Masters Jets stat? Rory has won the Masters twice before the Jets have gotten one interception.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Oh my
That's
God.
incredible.
That makes sense.
That is so stupid.
What a stat. What a stat.
10% of the way through.
Listen, New York, I saw somebody the other day, these Jets, Mets, Knicks fans, just misery.
Oh, look, we got some NBA playoffs talk coming up.
Speaking of, on the way
get it done.
On the way out of Augusta, we rode past the airport there.
Yeah.
The collection of private jets was the most stunning thing you've ever seen in your life.
A lot of money.
They built it. They built that just for anytime you have that. I'm a horse racing guy. I got my Derby hat on. Keeneland's the same thing. Anybody who's been to Keeneland and Lexington, the racetrack reminds me of the Masters. Very old, pristine, everything about it. And you got the private airport right there. Big time jets coming in. So yeah, it is spectacular. But for me, one and done.
Speaking of the Jets, we got some NFL talk coming up on the other side. Don't go to hear more. Wake Up Barstool here in FS1. We're not actually going to talk about the Jets, though, so don't worry about that.
Could Rory win 3 straight matches?
Welcome back to Wake Up Barstool. All right, so the biggest story in the NFL right now actually doesn't have to do with anything on the field. It's the Dianna Russini and Mike Vrabel drama. As some pictures surfaced that looked potentially intimate.
You think?
It was categorically denied. However, The Athletic now saying that they are investigating the situation. Obviously, being a journalist, there's conflict of interest at play, and Mike Vrabel will not be a part of the Patriots pre-draft process. Dave, you live in drama. This is your head coach. What is your very experienced drama internet take on this?
Clearly, we'll start with what a lot of people said. Private investigator was definitely involved. You just don't get these photos randomly from far away, professional. So somebody was out to get these two. Whether that was Vrabel's side, whether it was Rossini's side, but this looks like somebody knew something nefarious was happening and set out to get it, get the proof, get the information. So that's one. This excuse that they both had, which is the same excuse that, hey, we're with a group of people and it's not shown. It's quite peculiar at this point that none of these supposed friends have stepped forward and said, yeah, we were with him. Here's proof we're with him. So I think it's pretty obvious that maybe something beyond a friendship was happening here. Now, there's two different sides to it. Vrabel, and they're both married with kids. So it's, in that respect, very sad story. We don't know if the others know anything. Vrabel, this is totally a personal issue, right? Like, if he's cheating, not cheating, this doesn't affect your job. This has nothing to do with your job as a football coach. Where it gets a little dicey, depending how you look at it, with Rossini, is she works for The Athletic, which is the New York Times. They pretend to be some prestigious institution. I totally disagree with that. I think they're rats. But I'm sure somewhere they say you cannot, cross the line with your sources. You can't become intimate because then maybe you treat them differently. So maybe she crossed a work line, which will cause her to be terminated. She's suspended right now. Now, she's not dealing with nuclear codes. She's not dealing with politicians. It's football. So should you lose your job for becoming intimate with a coach? I probably don't think so. She probably gets sources and if she's flattering to Vrabel, whatever, to me, it's a personal issue. I don't think in many professions you are losing your job for having an affair, which is basically what this seems like it is. The New York Times Athletics want to say, well, you can't fraternize, you can't cross that line, you're out. So be it for Rossini. But to me, it's pretty obvious what happened here. It's certainly salacious. I think their excuses probably weren't the best move from them from a PR perspective. But listen, they're both well-known people, especially Vrabel. This is part of what you choose when you become a famous football coach. People are going to have fun with this story or poke at it and make fun. But as far as it affects Vrabel's career, absolutely not. And I don't know that it should really affect Rossini's career, to be totally honest.
Yeah, I think it comes. I think for Dianna, and to be clear, I love her. She's come on this show multiple times. And so even it feels weird to be talking about it without knowing all the details because
I think we know.
I'm saying, but this is kind of okay.
I think we know the details.
Okay,
we got a pretty good idea.
That's fair. I guess my hesitance is almost representative of maybe part of the problem with somebody in Rossini's position doing this because I don't want to talk about this because I like her. I like her a lot. She's been really good in the show. Because I don't want. I don't know. It's like having her kind of dragged through everything in one way or another. I don't want to pile on. I understand that. I'm just pointing that covering people that you care about, it's tough. And especially if you're at the New York Times, where, again, regardless of your opinion on them, they want to hold themselves as journalistic integrity. Like, I was reading that even if you help a coach, somebody like that, if you help them write a book or something, you are now barred from covering that team.
This is according to the Times?
Yeah.
See, I think, again, I don't know where the differentiation in sports. If I have any reporters, then like I'm gonna go sleep with. If we're not in the news breaking business clearly here, but if I have a source, and it's like I can get every single lead on the Patriots or a big team. All I gotta do is go bang this guy. I'd be like, all right, here you go. Here's some, go do what you gotta do to get the lead. What do I care? These are consenting adults. The family part obviously makes it. I would have, if these two are single, I don't care at all. I could care less.
Yeah, no, it's the family part that makes it messy, and now the internet's dug up.
Well, no, you just said it's the person you're covering. If they didn't have families, would you still be like, oh, this is against the journalism ethics?
No. Well, okay, sorry. It would still be against journalistic ethics. I wouldn't care though, because it wouldn't be. Like, I don't know what's going on in her personal life at this point and what the fallout like that is dealing with, right? And that's the part where I feel empathy for, that I feel bad for. It's not.
I guess my point is what I'm saying is I don't care about the journalistic ethics of this story at all. It's the NFL. You're covering the. Am I really out here believing that female pretty reporters or coaches or whatever aren't this is the first time they've ever had sex or had relations? I don't believe that for a second. Again, when you're cheating and you have families, it becomes a sad story, and that to me makes it a little icky to talk about. But as far as the journalistic ethics or whether Vrabel should be no, these are personal issues for those two people with their significant others, with their families, and we don't know how much they know or don't know. But in terms of like, oh, this makes her look bad as a reporter, no, I don't buy into any of that at all.
I agree. I think we're on the same page there.
Journalistic ethics are a sham in this country anyway.
That's what I'm saying. Yes.
Hour 1 in the books. Hour 2 coming up. Okay, we got the NBA playoffs to get to. We got to set the scene there. Imagine this, Brandon. Boston.
What?
Back on top. NBA playoffs.
Yeah, they're going to win the whole damn thing.
Welcome back to Wake Up Barstool, hour number 2. We just had an excellent Masters weekend. Now we shift to the NBA playoffs. The play-in games start tomorrow. Detroit Pistons, Brandon, taking down the 1 seed in the East, but
Celtics are better.
The story, or the 2 seed, the Boston Celtics. What do you know? Davey Rightside, he just can't help himself. Ever since he started Barstool, championships come to him seemingly multiple times a year, and here we sit entering the playoffs. And the Celtics are supposed to be back. This is supposed to be a gap
year. I got to stop you. This graphic, you need to be a mechanical engineer or like this. Did we make this, or did this come from the NBA?
This is NBA.
No, this is due to the nature of the play-in. This is the flow chart.
Just focus on the middle, man. Focus on the middle.
There has to be a better way to make this graphic. I don't know what it is, but this graphic. This is one of the more.
No, you got to think of it as like Brandon did, 2 separate brackets, where you just kind of focus on the middle and let 7 and 8 be placeholders, and then you have these 3 separate brackets, actually. You have your middle, you have your left, you have your right.
Well, the East is easy. The 2 teams matter in the East, all right? The 2 teams matter in the East. The Knicks aren't beating the Celtics and the Pistons back-to-back.
They literally beat them in the playoffs last year, back-to-back.
Yay. Okay. We're talking about this year.
And they're a better team this year than last year.
I will throw out the Heat beat the Celtics, and the Celtics came back and won the championship. So, I mean, I think the Celtics will have their eyes wide open on the Knicks. So, I mean, you can live in your fantasy world. Meek that the Knicks are going to beat the Celtics 2 years in a row, but it's just that. It's a fantasy world.
But again, even if they beat the Celtics, they're not beating the Celtics and the Pistons back to back. It's a 2-team race in the East. The West is going to be a bloodbath. It's going to be nasty. It's going to be crazy from start to finish. But I think
the odds really don't show that, by the way. The odds, it has Oklahoma, I think, almost close to even money.
Yeah.
Celtics, last time I checked, were the number 2 choice at plus 500. So, I mean, according to Vegas, at least, and DraftKings, clear favorite is the OKC to repeat.
Well, yeah, I mean, they got the best defense in the league. They got SGA. Like, they're the most balanced team. But let's get back to the East real quick.
I just feel like there's more teams that can beat the Thunder than can beat the Celtics and Pistons.
Meek, are you going to take this from Dave?
You're writing off the Knicks.
Like, are you going to take this from Dave, the Knicks?
This Knicks team has more wins than last year, more wins versus playoff teams than last year, better offensive rating, better defensive rating, better net rating. We're a healthier team coming into the playoffs than last year. Everyone in all these other network shows wants to write off the Knicks, say, oh, they're just going to lose the Celtics. They said that last year. We can beat
Celtics played 90% of the season without their best player, and they still got the 2 seed.
Congrats. It's a new season. It's a playoff.
Also, Meek,
but here's
friendly
the thing.
first-round draw with that Hawks
This really boils down to, and maybe it's not right. Time will tell. That's the beauty of sports. You're the Knicks. And I know you beat us once, and I don't want to go back in my knowledge, but there was 1 year the Jets actually beat the Patriots in the playoffs. Like, if you can believe that. If that is as crazy, if you can wrap your mind around that. The Patriots, I believe, were the 1 seed, like something like 14-2. Looked like for all the world they're going to roll right to the Super Bowl. Jets came in and beat us in Foxborough in the playoffs.
That was Bart Scott, right?
Yeah, once.
Wait.
That happened once, Meek.
Yeah.
Once. And that's it. And that's what I believe last year. Now, again, maybe we're wrong. Maybe the Knicks have turned over a new leaf and they're going to now be the new. But we're the Celtics. It's the greatest franchise in the NBA. We've been a perennial powerhouse now for a decade or so, it feels like, always near the top. So, you can sit there and you can say, we get no respect. And you don't deserve respect. You've done nothing to really get respect. You beat us last year. It was a shocker. But that opens eyes, just like those Jets. They beat us once, never beat us again, went back to mediocrity, had a couple years, but they were the Jets. You're the Knicks. They're the Knicks. So you can sit here. You shouldn't say a word. Just shut up until you beat us. Now, if you beat us again, you can squawk, talk, do whatever you want. But you have 100 years of history that says shut up till you can prove you can do it multiple times and it's for real. I think that's a fair outlook.
You have a fair take.
Yeah, but I bet he's not going to shut up.
I'm going to ride with my team, and I'm going to believe we can beat anyone that stands in our way. Because that's what sports is. A fan should believe in their team. Not everyone needs to be Frank the Tank about their teams.
Yeah, but you didn't believe in them last year. Nobody.
I didn't believe in them last year. I believe in them this year.
Meek,
which is crazy.
Meek, what about this? What does it mean for the Knicks if they don't raise the bar, right? Or if they fall short of what they've done the last 2 years?
If they don't get
and then you got Giannis out here. He clearly wants out. He wants to get to New York. Do they blow it up?
If they don't get to the Eastern Conference Finals, yeah, you're looking at a blow up where Giannis is potential an option. You have to take a long look in the mirror and be like, okay, this group just didn't get.
No, they did that last year. They fired their coach after making the Eastern Conference Finals, right?
Yeah, they got rid of Thibodeau.
And the coach deserved to be fired.
Yeah.
But do you think Mike Brown though? I think he would survive. You think he would survive even if they fall flat in these playoffs?
I think you don't fire a coach after 1 year.
Okay, that's fair. Doc Rivers, no longer. He is stepping away from Milwaukee. What about this though? If we look outside of the Celtics and Knicks, what's the other biggest storylines out there? I really love the Nuggets T-Wolves matchup there. I think though, is it getting to see Wemby?
100%.
Finally, right? Gotta be, right?
Yep. See what Wemby can do in the playoffs. That's fascinating to me. Obviously, I'm going to be locked in the Celtics, but I'm very curious to see how Wemby makes a run at this thing.
T-Wolves have also been a problem for these higher seeded teams in the West last couple of years.
Yeah, and they kind of slept walk through the season.
Yeah.
Have they, though?
And Edwards is going to turn it on.
Yeah, right?
1 year. 1 year.
I thought
back-to-back conference finals.
There you go. They made the conference finals.
Yeah, but they got crushed. Like I had Anthony Edwards as like Jordan the year the first year they made that run and they ran out of gas. I didn't they weren't competitive in the series they lost last year. I don't believe
the last two. Yeah, the last two conference finals weren't competitive.
Yeah, I don't know. To me, it's OKC. It's Wemby. You can't overlook. I mean, the Nuggets. You can't overlook them with Jokic. So Those are the teams.
The only problem with the Nuggets here, I think, ultimately get done is just the defense. Like, the offense is incredible, but the defense sucks. Thunder have the best defense in the league. No matter the sport, we see what defense does when it comes to the most important moments. How about the fact that...
Well, the
You have
Lakers
a couple
also
teams that can really elevate themselves here. Like if the Celtics win the championship, that's 2 out of 3. They reclaim what everyone was saying. Obviously, the Nuggets, same. And OKC, you have teams that really can elevate themselves into historic categories if they can win this year.
I think the Lakers are worth talking about here too, because they spent most of February and March looking like one of the best teams in the NBA. Now injuries have derailed them towards the end. It kind of knocked them down a playoff spot. I don't know what their health situation is. I don't know if they're getting Reeves.
Luka's not coming
No,
back.
Luka's done for round 1. He's aiming for round 2. They'd have to make it through the
If
Rockets.
they can get through the Rockets and get Luka back.
How crazy is it, though, that here we sit, we're talking NBA storylines. We've already touched on a few, and you got LeBron versus KD.
Yeah.
First round, back, the old heads still doing it, dude. KD currently with a 2-1 series advantage head-to-head versus LeBron. Can he push it 3-1? I mean, surely Doncic and Reeves being out, that's got to be too much for the Lakers.
We also know whoever wins this series just has no chance versus OKC. I think that's just cut and dry.
Yeah, so that's kind of
OKC, I think, just goes 8-0 until the conference finals.
Also, KG is a guy. KD is a guy who I think.
Uh-oh.
No, I'm saying when all is said and done, when people look back on his career, that will be one that kind of. He's a great player, no doubt, but he was on a trajectory until he left Golden State. Like, if he stays at Golden State and they keep winning at Golden State, he's getting a lot of the credit for winning at Golden State. But he hasn't won anywhere except Golden State, and that's Steph Curry's team. So that's somebody who's kind of fallen off in my eyes in terms of like all-time superstars, because again, he gets to the verge. He was with OKC, goes to wins super team. He's getting a lot of that credit, bad injury, but then he leaves and he's never been really heard from again as a serious threat. Disaster in Brooklyn. I mean, we'll see what he does here, but that's somebody whose career I think it's more what ifs with Durant.
He's hurt his image so much, you could argue he's not a top 15 player all time.
They won a title. The Warriors won a title before him, and they won a title after him.
Yeah.
And that's pretty damning.
But KD's still, I mean, look.
He's a great player.
He's
We're talking about top 15, top 20.
And like the Rockets brought him in for this stage.
Yeah.
Last year they were young.
Why? He hasn't done anything on this stage.
Well, because of youth, experience. Last year they were too young. They didn't have an offensive closer. Now they do. Again,
he's James Harden 2.0.
If he'd got that Suns title, that would have helped a lot.
does it get him past?
Get to a conference
Suns
finals.
title, but that team he ruined. That team got ruined just like Brooklyn.
The Suns traded him, and they're back in the playoffs without him.
Oh, everybody just relax.
Yeah, Brandon, what the hell, dude? What's wrong with you?
Calm down.
Hey, wait, Dave, you're a newfound LeBron guy, right? Do you think this is the
I'm
last?
not all the way.
Wait, I thought you were
I haven't heard that he's going to play in the Internet Invitational. He played with the Bob Does. He did golf. Crazy that he knows who Fasoli is, but he said he watched the end. And, he seemed not hateable. He's never
been hateable. You just hated him for no reason.
Oh, Brandon.
He's never been hateable.
Wasn't hateable.
LeBron James is not hateable. LeBron James is
Wait
a
a
decent
minute.
guy
You
who's been in the
just said
spotlight for
LeBron
20
James
years.
has
I
never
agree.
been hateable.
I actually agree with Brandon.
I think LeBron James is a terrific
LeBron James
and
has
decent
never
guy.
been hateable.
That's what I say.
The decision wasn't hateable. But how many are we going to win here? 1, 2, 3.
Oh, sorry. That was a pump-up event in the Miami Heat's arena.
He left his hometown at Cleveland to chase titles when he's charging people to attend his birthday.
His hometown's Akron.
He did come back and win, though.
His hometown's Akron, not Cleveland. Two different cities.
He brought him to the top.
Listen, you said a lot of dumb things. To say he's never been hateable is crazy. And by the way, I will fully admit, we were going to war with him with the Celtics, 7-game series. My hatred was born out of the rivalry, and then I just followed and carried it. But to say he's never been hateable is insane.
Dave, did you have you officially extended the invite to LeBron's camp?
Well, I've never communicated with the guy, but I told the Bob Does, I'm like, is he going to play in the invitation? They're like, we didn't ask because we thought I didn't like him. I go, listen, I don't care who it is. LeBron's willing to play. Of course, we'll have him in the tournament. So I don't know if he's going to do it. I know he knows who I am, I'm sure, and doesn't like me. And why would you? But I don't know. He took a step forward, I guess, in my eyes by doing that.
Do we think we're seeing the last of LeBron in a Lakers uniform?
We go to the third tee with the match between LeBron James and Jersey Jerry.
Speaking of weirdos, what is this clip I'm seeing of Mantis dancing on the Lakers sideline? Is that a real thing?
I don't know.
Mantis just be going to a bunch of different sporting events doing stuff like that. You know, he went on a flight to deliver.
Wait, did he get invited to do that? By the way, for people who don't know, Mantis is at home. He's a deformed guy who used to work for us. He's legitimately deformed. So, like, that's not an insult. His body is deformed. But what did he get? He's dancing on, like, the Lakers sideline. Did they invite him, or did he end up in jail? I'm confused.
I think Mantis has a lot of interest from companies right now about promoting, like using him to promote certain things.
Doesn't he have to do like a couple 100,000 food deliveries or something over the next couple of years?
Yeah,
what do you mean a lot of interest in Mantis?
He's got a lot of sponsored bits.
Yes, exactly.
He's
like DoorDash is sponsoring Mantis to fly from Indianapolis to Vegas back to Indianapolis to deliver someone in and out.
Because he's deformed?
He had the.
I'm not saying that.
What do you mean?
They're interested in
That's
Mantis.
like saying you have red hair.
He
That's
creates
like
traffic.
You have red hair, Bluttman. He's physically deformed.
No, he creates traffic. He had the blindfold free throw streams of the prediction markets. Yeah, look, they're a guy.
He was dancing on the sideline. I saw it.
Yeah, he was at the final.
So he was invited to do this.
He had to be invited, right? He had to be invited.
Well, sometimes he's done it where he just shows up and gets hauled off.
It's a long way from being fired for bringing a date to the office.
Shut up, Mantis.
He was using our office like his Studio 54.
He was bringing them through there.
Okay, guys, there's your NBA playoff preview. Ended in the way that everybody knew that it would, with a little Mantis
Not many
talk.
companies have it. Not many companies can go back like, well, yeah, that deformed guy worked for us, but he's using it as his own personal club, so he had to fire.
Coming up next, we got one of our best.
The Bussin' Boys, Mantis.
We got one of our best, dude. We got Robbie Fox coming up next, talking UFC. Don't go anywhere. Here on Wake Up Barstool. Welcome back to Wake Up Barstool. So UFC 327 happened over the weekend, and we go with the host of Spinny Backfist, our UFC expert, the only man from Barstool who wears a suit every time he comes on the show. I'm talking about Robbie Fox. What's up, Robbie? How we doing today, man?
I'm doing great. Listen, you put me on TV, I'm wearing a suit. It's as simple as that.
There you go. The man shows respect for the stage. Bobby, okay, help us out. What are the major storylines this weekend in the UFC?
UFC 327 in Miami this weekend was incredible. It was like a very hyped card. Everyone was looking forward to it. You always go in a little trepidatious. You can't predict how the fights go. We had knockout after knockout after knockout. The main event, guy tore his ACL and then immediately got a knockout. The co-main event, we saw a head kick knockout with a delayed reaction. We saw arguably the greatest heavyweight title fight of all time. Here's the main event right here. Ulberg, ACL gone. And then you see he hits Yuri Prochazka. Fence. His back against the fence, and Yuri is claiming he saw the ACL tear. He let up on him. He felt a little bad. He let his guard down. I don't know if that's true. He was certainly still throwing leg kicks. Yuri has had excuses in the past. Woo! He believes Poatan used some voodoo, black magic on him. But yeah,
I can tell you this, Robbie. Just seeing that clip, there's no shot he was letting up on him. That's just an excuse.
It could have been an excuse. It certainly could have been. We saw also one of the greatest heavyweight fights in UFC history between this guy, Josh Hokett, who's kind of a newcomer, who's made a name for himself in the most ridiculous of ways. He just has very bizarre characters. He had 3 this week that he was cycling between.
What do you mean characters?
He's a bizarre guy.
He has one character named Vato, where he does a Mexican accent. He has a Sith Lord character, where he comes out in like a black Sith robe. He has the Incredible Hulk, which is like he's trepidatious, but then the Hulk comes out and then he goes crazy. This guy, I mean, listen, he was a bit of a joke. It was a bit cringeworthy, but then he put on one of the greatest fights we've ever seen with Curtis Blades, who is a force to be reckoned with. And you got to respect this guy now. And he got added to the White House immediately after that.
I got to ask you, Robbie. So I consider myself a little bit above casual UFC fan. You've just reeled off. There we go. I love it. You've just reeled off a bunch of names I'd never heard of.
Yeah.
Where are we at? I feel like UFC, who is the names? You got Topuria, right? I know him, never been beat. But who are the guy, the Aura guy?
Poatan, Alex Pereira, for sure.
Who else is the top? Because for this card, while great, I wish I watched it from everything you're saying. It didn't have a name that's like, oh, I got to watch this. I got to tune in. Are they having a little bit of a crisis with this right now?
It's definitely become a bit of a narrative over the last years, the UFC going through a star drought. And it goes back and forth. I feel like any sport like the UFC, like golf, like tennis, any individual sport will go through some ebbs and flows of stars. The UFC is probably in a bit of one right now, but they've still got Islam Makhachev. They've still got Paddy the Baddy. They've still got big names that, can bring a lot of excitement to the sport. But yeah, right now is maybe a time where a card like this, UFC 327, did the lowest gate they've ever done in Miami.
It did.
It did, yeah.
Yeah,
and
so that's
still
star
did a great
power.
gate, but yeah,
That's star power. And what about the fact, and we're all Dana fans here, but I know he's got his boxing league, he's got slap fight, he's got a lot of things going on. Do you see that playing any factor in it or no?
I don't really think so, to be honest. Like, they're obviously putting a little bit more focus on the boxing and the power slap, but right here you're seeing Cub Swanson, legend of the sport, had his final fight ever against Nate the Train Landwehr. It was an absolute beating. It was domination. I almost got another FCC violation there. I came very close. Stopped myself from getting better.
And I forgot. I could have just watched this for free. I forgot that.
And that has changed the sport in a way already. I'm seeing people texting me during cards that would not generally be texting me. They're watching it because it's on Paramount. And it's no longer $80 for pay-per-view. It's like $9.99.
Are they promoting it the same? Because like I barely even knew this was going on. Like, I don't want to name drop, and I know this will be like, what? But like Guy Fieri texted me. He's like, "Are you going to Miami? Going to UFC?" And I'm like, I'm in the Keys, wasting away. I didn't even know it was in Miami, but like I wasn't even aware of it till then. Name drop.
Yeah. No, that was a good name drop. There were certainly a lot of names there. I saw Vanilla Ice there. How about that? I saw a lot of listen, they had names.
Not helping.
Trump was there, right?
I don't know if Vanilla Ice is helping the star drought.
No, I don't know that it is either.
Vanilla Ice is huge.
What about this, Brandon? Who's better friends with Guy Fieri, you or Dave?
Well, I was on the show Friday night.
Oh, that's right.
Friday night, we made our debut. The Mostly Sports Boys were on Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives. They did not tell us. It felt like a little bit of Barstool difference. They just didn't tell us it was coming, and we were looked up, and it was there.
They just shadow dropped the episode?
They just dropped it.
I mean, I can answer that question. I'm like...
You're better friends with a guy than Brandon is?
Oh, yeah.
I've texted him 9 times now, Dave. I think I'm pretty good friends with him.
Yeah, 9. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Has he responded every time?
More than half.
Okay, that's great. You're on the path. Robbie, what about this, man? So if all these things are potentially true, going through a little bit of a drought in some ways, is the fabled White House event, is that the thing that's going to bring everybody back in? I mean, is this true? Am I reading that they're going to be entering from the Oval Office?
The main event will be, yes, which is Ilia Topuria versus Justin Gaethje. It's a
This
banger
is
of
a
fight.
mismatch.
It is. That's the crazy thing. We've got an American main eventing the White House card who is most likely going to get his lights put out very quickly. And I mean very. Ilia Topuria knocks out everybody.
He's the best guy. He's the best guy in the game.
It's unbelievable. So it's a risky main event that they're throwing out there. I think Dana has mentioned, and Trump, they're like, we don't really care. Like, they could have put 2 people that were international in the main event. They wouldn't have cared about, like, the American angle. But that you have Ilia Topuria in the main event, and then you have Alex Pereira moving up to heavyweight in the co-main event. It's a stacked card, top to bottom. He's fighting Cyril Gane, this French guy who has fought John Jones in the past. He's fought... he's a good name. He's unfortunately one of those names that they keep putting in title fights and then basically to get beat by somebody. I think they
Duke
probably
Dorchester in WWE.
I think they probably wanted John Jones for this card. That Dana has said they didn't want John Jones a part of it. John Jones and them have gone back and forth. Jones is like, I got an offer. What do you mean? And Dana was like, we were never going through on that offer. I was never letting you anywhere near the White House, considering his previous antics.
Can I do a little breaking news since you mentioned Justin Gaethje, who I've had beef with in the past as well because he got mad when I said Patty should win fight of the night. He is also going to be in the Internet Invitational.
Really? Wow, that is
LeBron
breaking news.
James.
I saw him this weekend. He made a little eye contact with me, and every time I'm wearing a Barstool hat, I get a little nervous.
Yeah, well, that was
I
brought
pucker
up
a little bit.
when they said, when they're like, "Do you care if he's in there?" I'm like, "Well, he just can't beat me up." Like
Yeah.
He's. I've been told he wants to beat me up. He said he's the one to beat me up. People have said he will beat you up. So when it was brought up, like, "Hey, he wants to be in the invitation," I guess he's a big golf guy. It's like, great.
Yes.
I'm fine with him. He's coming off that card. Just he can't attack me. So I think we have that social contract.
So that's the one rule. He can't beat you up.
Yeah,
That's a smart
I'm
rule.
fine with anybody.
That's a fair rule.
LeBron can be in it. Gaethje can be in it. But like, I can't have guys trying to physically attack me.
A few months ago, someone tweeted me and they said, "You guys got to get Justin Gaethje on spinning back fist." And I responded, and I don't even think I tagged Justin Gaethje. I said, I just got to be honest. I don't think he's the biggest fan of Barstool, considering the past.
He may have forgotten.
He found that immediately. He tweeted, "You're a weirdo." He said to me, I said,
Yeah, so maybe he doesn't know I'm involved in the invitational. I don't know.
Robbie,
I don't think he'll beat you up, though. If you need security, though.
Yeah, I'm sure. That
Robbie,
will help.
I'm a novice UFC fan, and you guys are talking about names and lack of star power, etc. But UFC announces the addition of Gable. How big is that going to be for the sport?
Yeah, Gable Steveson, if you don't know, one of the greatest collegiate wrestlers of all time. You could call him the greatest. He's been on this MMA career early. He signed with WWE for a few years. Brock Lesnar gave him the advice, sign with WWE, make a name for yourself, and then go to the UFC. WWE did not work out for him. Like, he never even made it to a debut. It was kind of a strange couple years there. Damn. Now the UFC signed him after a couple fights where he is obviously undefeated. He's running through everyone he's in the ring with. People thought maybe they would try to make him go through Contender Series first. They're not going to. He'll be on International Fight Week, July 11th. And that could be a game changer for the heavyweight division especially. I mean, this guy comes in, if he is the second coming of Brock Lesnar, he'll be a huge star.
And
They need it.
I was glued to this card because of the Incredible Hulk and his theatrics throughout the week. I wanted to watch him fight very badly. He obviously puts on a masterful and gutsy performance with how many hits he took. Probably hurt his jaw a bit. What do you think his ceiling could be?
He's tough to say because his fight was incredible. He showed a lot of resiliency. It was also a super sloppy fight. He had no cardio by the end of it. I don't know who would have cardio by the end of that one, to be fair. There was over 300 significant strikes landed in 3 rounds. I think he has a pretty high ceiling. The issue is everyone kind of sees through the shtick already. Like, everyone's like, oh, this guy, he's a wannabe WWE guy. Even Dana's like, yeah, it's not for me. The shtick he's doing is just, it's a lot of pre-rehearsed lines. After his last fight, he called out Brittany Griner. He was calling her a man. After this one, I expected a lot more with Trump in attendance. I expected him to, like, bring up Epstein and whatnot. He didn't do that, and then he got added to the White House card. So maybe it was smart not to do that. But apparently, after his fight, Trump turned to Dana. He said, why isn't Derek Lewis on the White House card? He's my favorite fighter. And Dana was like, oh, man. I guess I got to put Derek Lewis on the White House card now. So he called up Derek Lewis, said, would you be willing to fight? He said, yeah. He called up Josh Hokett in the hospital. He said, would you be willing to fight? He said yes as well. So I think if he goes out there and knocks out Derek Lewis in the White House, he's going to be a pretty huge star.
Brittany Griner must have been looking around. Where'd I get that shot from?
50 Cent meme.
Yeah, it's like, why are you talking about me? Are you going to the White House fight?
I don't know. So I think I'll be in D.C. that week. We've been talking a lot with Dana, the amount of tickets they have to give out. I don't know how credentials are going to work. We kind of don't think that we'll be like in the actual White House. Dana has like 200 tickets and then Trump has like 1,300. Again, I don't know how credentials are going to work. I don't know if it's like people that normally get credentialed for UFC are allowed in, or if it's like George Stephanopoulos is in my seat.
Yeah, right. Is it something you'd want to go to?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it's a historic car. I mean, it's on the White House lawn. Like, I think just being there for like the picture that they put up, the rendering of what it's going to look like, it's insane. And then they have like the field across from the White House is where they want most of the fans to go. They're saying they could fit 80,000 fans in the field across from the White House. Zach Brown will be performing. They're going to make a big spectacle of it. I think weigh-ins are on the Lincoln Memorial. I almost think like the lead up to it will be as cool as the event. Like the weigh-ins on the Lincoln Memorial sounds sick.
Army Navy vibes. That's what I said about Army Navy, the lead up.
Isn't it?
People are going to be in their underwear on the Lincoln Memorial?
Yeah, this is kind of like the inverse of Army Navy. Army Navy has all the, the Augusta buried, and this is like Idiocracy. Way into the Lincoln Memorial.
Oh, it is.
That's insane.
It's Idiocracy. And walkouts from the Oval Office. People are going to be.
Crazy.
Bob, before we let you go, so you host City Backfest, you also host My Mom's Basement. What about this new mall show, dude? What are you? Give us a little quick. I haven't checked it out yet. I'm going to be watching tonight.
Oh God.
So I was surprised. Dave actually texted me about it this week.
Why are you surprised by that? What do I have to do? What do I have to prove to you? I literally, my girlfriend was asking, like, I think there's a shot we're doing Robbie's bachelor party at the Disney Boys. Like, what?
Oh, that's still up there in the air.
Yeah, so I'm a little confused. You'd be surprised that you're my Disney guy. I would have Jeff D-Lo, but I don't want 30 conversations and when I can play the dozen.
I was only surprised because it's an animated show, and I didn't know if you messed around with the Star Wars animated universe. And that's why I told you it's not like an absolute must-watch. I'm not like you have to watch this to understand what's going to happen in like The Mandalorian and Grogu. And it follows up on stuff that happened in the Clone Wars, which you didn't have to watch to check out this. But it feels like a show catered towards people that watched the Clone Wars growing up. It's just a little bit more mature. They're doing mall mob vibes, mall mafia vibes. He's just got more aura than anyone ever.
Can you stop talking about? Can you stop talking about this nerdy crap and start talking about something real? WrestleMania is this weekend.
It is, yeah.
All right. Good stuff.
Set me up, Brandon.
Hey, Robbie, honest to God, WrestleMania is this weekend, and it does not feel like WrestleMania is this weekend. They're going back to Vegas for the second time in a row. I think that's a mistake, and the build has been awful so far.
It's going to be the first WrestleMania in the stadium era since WrestleMania 22 was in an arena in Chicago that will have under 60,000 people there per night. And I think that speaks to a mistake going back to Vegas. I think they got greedy. They announced that they were going to New Orleans, and then they pulled out of New Orleans to go back to Vegas. That was messed up. I didn't appreciate that. And I just feel bad for Cody Rhodes in this whole thing. Last year, he had Travis Scott in the middle of his feud. This year, he's got Jelly Roll and Pat McAfee. What's going on? Let this guy wrestle a normal feud.
Yeah, I don't understand it. And it wasn't like the Vegas crowd was good last year. It was a bad crowd.
What do you mean? You mentioned this before. Like Pat McAfee is against Jelly Roll, or their team against Cody Rhodes?
Pat McAfee is in the corner of Randy Orton. Jelly Roll is in the corner of Cody Rhodes. And apparently, what the wrestling world is saying is that Triple H, who runs everything, did not want any of this to happen. And Ari Emanuel, who is Pat McAfee's manager, was like, we're going to put Pat McAfee in this. And now they've made that part of the storyline already. On SmackDown this week, we had Cody Rhodes saying, like, whoever forced yourself into this program, tell him to get out of here. They're chanting, go home, Pat. Pat says he'll never be in WWE again if Randy Orton loses this match. It seems like they're setting up a tag team match for the next pay-per-view with Jelly Roll and Pat McAfee.
Well,
Wait, but
they have that article with Pat McAfee and Ari Emanuel saying they wanted to make Pat the Jason Kelce of the world.
Yeah, where's Jason Kelce in all of this? Yeah.
No,
he's not involved, but I wouldn't be surprised if we see on Saturday night he's in the front row and he smacks someone. I think Tom Brady might be involved on Saturday. Like Logan Paul's got a match. Speed is involved. I can see Brady, that whole thing being. It's in Vegas, you know?
The Brady Logan Paul thing is a work that's been 100% Brady is involved.
Yes. And I don't want to leave this Disney Boys thing too soon. You mentioned the Disney Boys. I did say to Gaz recently, I said, you know, it's tough. I know this guy's so busy. He was just traveling. Then he was writing a book for 10 hours a day. I didn't want to be like, hey, Dave, you want to take me to Disney again or what?
No, listen,
now that the book is
if
written,
someone picks up the ball on that, I'm ready to run back to Disney Boys.
Oh, Bobby,
pick up the ball on that.
See, Bob?
Bobby Fox.
FD Lowe has a laminated sheet already, I'm sure.
Robbie, did you see the some of the new park announcements from the new CEO?
Oh my God.
Big plans.
Some of the
big
new park
plans.
There's still the Coco ride is still not operational. I think that goes into construction next year. So we'll have to complete the trilogy when that
I'm
is
a gigantic
done,
Coco fan.
Oh, same. Remember me? Oh, I'll start crying.
The three
Little known fact, our tour guide got the boot.
Have y'all ever been
at Disney? Our tour guide at Disney got unceremoniously dumped for some hideous allegations.
Hey, Bobby, have you ever ridden the Three Caballeros boat ride in the Mexican temple?
No, I never have. So we'll throw that on the list.
Hidden gem, dude.
Are you going to try to shoehorn your way into
tell Jeff
Disney Boys?
I am slowly.
You're a Disney boy yourself.
I get stocked down every week, so I don't know if I'm ever going to be able to get into the Disney Boys, but I am indeed a Disney man.
You took 3 weeks off and went to Disney.
I took 1 week, Brandon. Thank you very much.
The treadmill crowd had to be extremely confused seeing the UFC segment end with Disney.
Yeah, hey.
Treadmill crowd's in shambles right now.
That's Wake Up Barstool difference. Bobby, thank you so much, man. man. Everybody check out Spinning Backfist. Check out My Mom's Basement as well. Coming up next, David Day Trading Global. Stock up, stock down.
See you,
who's
Robbie.
hot, who's not in the sporting world. More Wake Up on the other side. All right, welcome back to Wake Up Barstool. Before we get to stock up, stock down, it could be potentially getting a stock down here. I have no idea the veracity of this post, but Vicky Ray on Twitter tweets out, "This is it. The day I brought forth the legend that is Brandon Walker into this world. Give him a shout out on his page for his birthday. Mama Walker loves the big baby." Is it your birthday today, Brandon?
It is, yeah.
Hey, happy birthday,
Thank
Brandon
you.
Walker, dude. Let's go.
Big 6
Happy birthday.
congrats.
But I'm 47. It's no longer happy birthday. It's just
Everybody
whatever.
gets born.
Yeah.
So yeah,
It's somebody's
All came
birthday
out
every
the
day.
womb. It's somebody's birthday every second.
It's somebody's birthday
It's
every day.
quite literally the least impressive thing any human can do.
where does it rank versus finishing a marathon, Dave?
Oh, a marathon's far more impressive.
Okay, never mind. Well, I'm happy.
I mean, but that's not saying anything. Quite literally, every single human being alive was born.
And dead.
I think I'd rather hear about someone's birthday than the upcoming marathon.
Yeah, well, as long as you don't put a birthday in your face.
People, unless you're bald Paul who likes to celebrate his birthday for months, or a girl, like basically you say happy birthday, you move on. The marathon people, you got to hear about it forever. So you may have a point.
Up until 18, every birthday is a big deal. After 18, you got about 3 or 4 big birthdays.
I think I was over birthdays by 11.
30 and 40 are big birthdays. After 40, it's all, we're just marching to the grave at this point.
Well, happy birthday nonetheless.
Thank you very much.
Stock up to you. All right, it's time. Davey, Day Trading Global, stock up, stock down. Dave, you start the draft off. What you got?
Okay, let me pull up the list here. I'm going to start with Rory. It's the most obvious one, but we talked about it a little bit earlier. Just a gigantic back-to-back. Puts him on a guy who was already a legend, Hall of Famer, one of the all-time greats. Puts him, in my mind, on a very elite list. So Rory.
All right, Brandon Walker, stock up.
Stock up. I rarely do this, but I had a top 5 meal in my life in Augusta, Georgia the other day. I got to give a stock up to Beck's Oyster House in Augusta, Georgia. Me and my friend Bradley Barton sat there and ate oysters for 2 solid hours. We probably ate upwards of 50 oysters. It was incredible. Best oysters I've ever had. And that was in Augusta, Georgia. I've been in New Orleans. I've been all over the seafood places in the South. Augusta, Georgia, Beck's Oyster House. Shout out. Stock up.
Stock up, one that everybody's talking about, to my neighbor Jeff. Unbelievable guy. Okay, hadn't cleared out my yard, Brandon. I bought an old house. The yard hadn't been cleared in years. We're taking piles and piles of trees. The wind's knocking over bridge, all kinds of crazy stuff. I mentioned to Jeff I need a chainsaw. Well, yesterday I'm at multiple kids' birthdays, can't be home all day. I come home. Jeff, on his own volition, chopped up all the wood, bundled up to be taken away. That's good neighbors, guys. That's lost on him. He's got some Modelo and some food coming his way. I love you, Jeff. Stock up.
You probably sold your wood for firewood and made a pretty penny off of you.
I hope so. He deserves it.
Run out of time on that stock up for a guy nobody knows who you're talking about.
I got to give Jeff love, Dave. It was the nicest thing anybody's ever
At least
done.
mine was a small business.
Meek, what do you got?
Stock down, the Orlando Magic. Yesterday may have been one of
This was stock up.
Well, I know we're doing stock
He's drafting
down.
stock down.
Stock
Okay,
down.
fine.
I'm drafting stock down. The Orlando Magic had one of the most humiliating losses I've ever seen from an NBA team yesterday. They needed to win to secure the 7th seed to host the play-in game. All they had to do was beat the Boston Celtics backups of Baylor Shireman, Ron Harper Jr., a bunch of guys that just don't even play. The Celtics controlled the whole second half. It was never really in doubt. If the Orlando Magic want to fire their head coach for the play-in game, they'll be entirely justified.
Liam, what do you got?
Stock up. DU Hockey. They just won their 3rd national championship in the last 5 seasons. They've won 6 straight national championships in the game that they played in the national championship. You know what I'm saying? David Carl.
6 straight national title games.
Correct. Thank you, Brand. That's why you're better speaking than me. David Carl, one of the great coaches in sports. Ginger, no big deal. They won 17 consecutive games to wrap up their season with Johnny Hicks coming in net, and they do it while getting outshot over and over and over again. Resilient effort from DU.
Also, as we talk about good neighbors, credit to you, Dave, for being there for Big Cat. in his
Yeah, well, I mean, Wisconsin doesn't get to that stage very often. They've gotten their guts ripped out the last couple. So, I mean, Big Cat did text me, say we're going to try to win it for the Big Ten. They fell short, and titles will have to come through. UCLA obviously had women's hoop, so good job, Bluttman. They're good at baseball, and Michigan has the major sports. So we got it covered.
all right, what do you got, baseball.
Dave? Yeah.
What do you got, Dave? Next stock up, stock down. Yeah.
I got a big list here. Let's stick with stock up, and this is just me being the guy I am, Big Ten. I don't know if you guys are going to see this, but I'm quoting here, Michigan State, national champion back-to-back. The Michigan State Spartans are back-to-back Power Esports Smash Bros champion.
Wow.
You can see it here. So I don't know if you guys can see that, but they did that. So congratulations to the greatest esports school we got in this country, the Michigan State Spartans. They can't win for a damn in real sports, but they dominate the esports. Telluride Bush should be looking at these guys, see what we got. So congratulations, stock up, Michigan State esports champions. I guess as a quick corollary, stock down, Michigan State athletics being a joke.
What do you got, Brandon?
All right, stock down. The give me back my son guy. People make fun of Augusta and the Masters for being too buttoned up and being too hoity-toity and saying patrons instead of fans, saying observation stands instead of bleachers, saying all these things. But the one thing that is special about the Masters, I don't have to watch an idiot trying to do a stand-up routine every time somebody hits a ball. I don't have to watch somebody screaming, you the man, or get in the hole, or give me back my son. And on 16 on Saturday, Rory drives and somebody screams, give me back my son. And it was stupid, and that guy is probably never going to the Masters again. Stock down for that guy.
All right, stock up, LSU baseball. Yes, they got swept by Ole Miss, but they did not lose the fight. So after getting run ruled on Sunday, there's an older LSU fan being escorted out of the stadium. This isn't even the best angle on it, but
no, it goes to the best.
Oh wait, yeah, here we go. Here, this is it. All right, and then an Ole Miss frat boy decides to throw beer on him, and although he attacks the wrong guy, that's the cleanest left hand you will ever see. Oh my God, dude. Dropped him. LSU baseball did get swept, though. Unfortunately.
Yeah, got swept in 3 games. Just got dominated.
Yeah. Stock up, though. Stock up LSU baseball. We're going to be fine. No panic.
It's a long season.
We have more stocks that kind of go through mine.
Yeah, go through yours, Dave.
Well, you're not going to get to the boys?
No, we'll come back to that.
Dusty May, stock up. Red Sox turned around, stock up. Par 3 contest, stock down with all the chicanery and the Jason Kelces and all that. This is also, and my feed's probably different than your guys' feed, but it was Coachella. Male influencers just stock down. I don't understand a male influencer doing the abs and the yoga. And I don't get older guys. And I go back and forth with Michael Rubin. But Michael Rubin, you're 55. I see a picture of you, and he owns Fanatics. He does all these parties. He's wearing a little bandana with his buddies at Coachella. Buddy, you're a Masters guy. When you hit 55 and you want to go for a weekend and you have Coachella to the left and the Masters to the right, when you're 55 years old, you take the right to the Masters or you sit on your couch, but you don't go to Coachella. Stock down, Michael Rubin. Jazz Chisholm, stock down. And you got to put Russini stock down and Vrabel stock down for that little affair. And I didn't know where to put this one. Did you guys see Dickie Vitale got tricked on the internet?
No.
I could imagine it, but no, I didn't see it.
So somebody, one of these troll accounts, wrote that the kid from UConn, who's the 3-point shooter from Indiana, Mullins, was doing he was doing a live auction for his NIL rights, like schools could live bid. And Dickie Vitale went on a long rant how wrong it is and everything's right. Shame on that account for tricking Dickie Vitale. And by the way, it's not that outrageous to think that that's not the next step. So, And Vitale did double down. He knew he got tricked. Everyone's like, oh, you just tricked Dickie Vitale. And he's like, I did get tricked, but the point remains, it's crazy what's going on in NIL. So stock up Dickie Vitale for still being on social media. Stock down for tricking Dickie Vitale. That should be illegal at this point.
Hell yeah. All right, Meek, what do you got next?
Stock up the Washington Nationals, who swept Brandon Walker's Milwaukee Brewers this weekend while he was at the Masters.
Ooh, Brandon, you had a double sweep this week?
I am not a Brewers fan. I'm a Braves fan. The Braves have zero ties to Milwaukee.
Oh, jeez.
Stock down, the Eyes are planned on January 25th. The Red Wings led the Eastern Conference in points. They missed the playoffs the other day, eliminated from contention. They have the longest active playoff drought in the National now, with the Sabres making the playoffs. The Eyes are plan is going south. Red Wings, doomed.
Real quick, stock down. Your guy, Mr. Ice, Dave. They had Icecon in Chicago this week. Every time he wins one of these, he acts like he wins them all the time. He acts like, oh wow, look, we won. 3 + 3 = 7. All this stuff. They always act. They lose every time I look. He acts like he's the biggest winner in the world in hockey.
That's just totally inaccurate. And the Ice people are mad at me because I didn't get to Icecon because I was traveling for like 5 weeks straight. But he owns it. He makes a video regardless. When they win, lose, his bit is to rip the shirt. So disgusting on you. Stock way down.
All right. Well, we're gonna get.
They
to
acted
Icecon.
like
We're gonna get to Icecon next.
Okay.
We're gonna get to Icecon next. Don't go there. More.
We're doing Icecon?
We're doing Icecon.
Oh, I wouldn't have done it then.
Stock up, Barstool Chicago mini golf was the most exciting golf event of the week.
Yeah, stock up.
Stock down, Mincy.
Stock up, Liam
Somehow
Bluttman.
had my Jamie Buffett band at the office. What was that all?
Welcome back to today's Wake Up Barstool. We're just celebrating Brandon Walker's birthday. Big day for Brandon. Very excited for him. His own mother just FaceTimed him during the commercial break, and he seemed completely incensed that anybody would call him to wish him a happy birthday.
No, that's not it.
You were just so mean
I was
to your
not
wonderful
mean.
mother who literally created you on this day.
I mean, it
Brandon.
is a little weird. I'm sure she knows he's on TV from 8 to 10.
Yeah.
So she could have waited another 5 minutes.
Yeah, it's 8:56. She couldn't have waited until 9 o'clock. She knows that I'm on TV right now.
She could have done hashtag Ask Wub.
Can I give another stock down? Eric Swalwell. I think I gave him a stock down before. This is the guy who was running for governor of California and attacked me, I think a little under 2 months ago from the clouds, telling me to be an adult, stick to eating pizza, let the adults handle the room. Since he issued that tweet from the clouds at me, he has been hit with pretty much every single scandal. There are too many to even mention. He dropped out of the race today. It's one of those moments when I look up, I'm like, who is watching over me? Like, this guy unprovoked attacks me and his entire life fell apart. You name it. Cheating, illegal contributions, everything under the sun like that. So peace out, stock down, Eric Swalwell. You're a piece of dirt.
So we mentioned Icecon going to the break there. Icecon going on this weekend in Chicago. And shout out to the Ice Boys as big winners Saturday night.
Ice people.
Ice people, stock down T-ball.
No, don't stock down me, Liam. I've made
It's
this entire
Ice
show.
people.
I've made this entire show without getting
They're the
stocked
Ice
down.
people.
Okay, the
They're
Ice people. I apologize.
It looked fun. I think I was just jealous I wasn't there.
Yeah.
I was in Chicago and I was coming back from the Masters. It looked fun.
It's a unique group of people. They love Elio, my one of my good buddies, and all they do is bet the over every single hockey game. They do Icecon once a year. They all travel quite literally from all over the globe, like Czechoslovakia, London, California, Florida, whatever. They congregate for this one day a year, and they just root for goals. And they got the over. This is the first time in the history of Icecon that the over hit. So congratulations to Elio. They had a big party, big celebration, and finally the Ice people got their goals.
Look at the people. They're all watching him do the thing, rip the shirt. Everybody can't wait to see it.
I've told this story. Elio visited me. This is what he does every time it goes over. Elio visited me one time in Miami, and we were out to like a fancy dinner. And Elio watches every game he bets. He went into the bathroom at the overhit. He's screaming, ripping his shirt in a stall. A guy he didn't know, he comes over. He goes, I think you got to get your buddy. Something's wrong with him. He had no idea what he was doing in the bathroom. He had the stall closed, ripping it. So the Ice people, congratulations.
Congratulations, Dave. Thank you very much. Thank you, Brandon, as well. Glad to have you back. Happy birthday. Liam Meek, great job. Carson. All right, we got a great show coming up for you tomorrow as well. More Wake Up Barstool. Again, playoffs ready to get under the way. We got Jake Knapp coming on. Don't go anywhere against Derby.
Kentucky Derby merch now on sale in the store, by the way.
Oh, there you go.
Well, good looking hat. Carson's shorts are too short.